presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Cool, damp, windy, and overcast in San Francisco. Thick clouds overhead. The wind has been gusting in at times all afternoon long. We're in San Francisco, bundled up for the D-backs and the Giants. A rematch of last week's game, won by the Diamondbacks at Chase Field. It's Robbie Ray and Jeff Samardzija. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from AT&T Park, and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. Game 2 of a 3-game set, the Diamondbacks and the Giants. And for the second time in as many starts this year, Bob, Robbie Ray gets a look at the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, and Robbie pitching in this ballpark should be really good. A strikeout fly ball pitcher. This is a ballpark that's very forgiving if you can get that fly ball hit to the big part of the park, so expecting big things from Robbie again tonight. Another
matchup against Jeff Samardzija. These were the numbers from last week at Chase Field.
Yeah, Robbie pitched a pretty good ball game with the exception of the base on balls. Unfortunately, 2 of those 3 walks came around to score in that ball game.
Well, you've got the left-hander out there, a different look to Bruce Bochy's lineup. No Buster Posey, no Brandon Crawford, no Denard Span.
Yeah, hopefully be able to take advantage of this. Aaron Hill, the former D-back, in the lineup at third base tonight. I think he's going to play a big part on this Giants team this year. Bruce Bochy loves those veteran bench guys, and Aaron Hill certainly fits that description.
Chilly and damp in San Francisco. The first pitch is coming up shortly. The Diamondbacks and the Giants on Fox Sports Arizona.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Experience winning like you've never imagined at the Gila River Casinos, Lone Butte, Bequiva, and Wild Horse Pass. By Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run. At Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint. Location statewide. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By Sanderson Ford, the best play is at Sanderson Ford. By Gigablast Internet from Cox, welcome to the gig life. And by State Farm. State Farm is here to help life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM.
Fighting that bridge traffic here by the Bay. Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks set to take on Jeff Samardzija and the Giants. First pitch coming up shortly. Jody Jackson rejoins us right after this.
AT&T Park, left-hander Robbie Ray warming up. The rematch between Ray and Jeff Samardzija coming your way right here on Fox Sports Arizona shortly. Jody Jackson with you here on the field. Now, for the first 7 games at Chase Field, Diamondbacks with more runs scored than anyone in the league at 48. So first road trip, 1 run yesterday here at AT&T Park. And yes, Matt Moore had quite a day, 8 innings, just 3 hits. He was looking for redemption, but it can be different playing in a ballpark next to the Pacific Ocean, some of these parks here in the National League West. So with that, Torey Lovello evaluating how he manages in some of these parks.
This is a learning curve for me. This is a whole new league. It's a whole new situation, and this stadium is a little bit different than what I remembered us doing at Chase. So yesterday, a couple balls were hit. Herman hit a ball to center field. Goldie hit a ball to left field, and the ball did not carry. So as I'm learning on the job here, we might do things a little bit differently to scratch out a run or maybe tack on a run, but we're not going to change our offensive approach or our philosophy. These hitters know what they do best. They know what their strengths are, and we're going to continue to focus on that every day.
And yes, Troy was clear they'll continue to try to slug it out. They do know their strengths, and that is one of them. He also talked about yesterday after the game rushing the at-bats a little bit. Well, he kind of amended that today, saying, look, he just felt like Matt Moore really had it going. But in talking to some of the hitters, they are going to look to not let the pitcher dictate their at-bat. If they need to take a little more time, they will do that here tonight against Jeff Samardzija. So that is the matchup, Ray and Samardzija, the Diamondbacks lineup. Chris Iannetta in there catching Robbie Ray. That is the one change. Yasmani Tomas, yes, he's in there. He had the lone run yesterday on a solo shot off Matt Moore. Diamondbacks and Giants, we've got your first pitch coming up next.
Cool, damp, and windy. Thick cloud cover all day in San Francisco. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. The D-backs and the Giants. The wind right now is gusting in off the water from the right field foul pole across the field going out to the left field foul pole, and it's a chilly night here by the Bay, BB.
Well, come to expect that here in San Francisco at night, especially early and late in the season, but you kind of know it going in. The players are prepared. They've got their long johns and their Under Armour, and they're ready to go.
Diamondbacks looking for their first 7-2 start to a season since 2008. The lineup for Torey Lovullo's D-backs here tonight.
A.J. Pollock once again leading it off in center field. He'll be followed by David Peralta out in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Jake Lamb over at third. Yasmani Tomas in left field. Brandon Drury at second base. Chris Owings will be at shortstop with Chris Iannetta getting the start behind the plate today for lefty Robbie Ray.
Your Ram truck starter for the Giants, the right-hander Jeff Samardzija. Hit hard by the Diamondbacks last week at Chase Field. He allowed 6 runs, 8 hits, and 5 1/3. Now, Samardzija did finish that start with 9 strikeouts, but he also gave up 3 home runs.
Yeah, especially later in the ball game. First 3 innings, Samardzija pretty much had his way against the Diamondbacks. Struck out 5 in the first 2 innings of that game. Gave up only 2 hits through the first 3 innings, but then back-to-back homers to open the 4th inning by David Peralta and Paul Goldschmidt, and that was pretty much the end of Samardzija's day. Gave up a few more hits and runs after that, but they got to him late. What's new?
Yeah, Samardzija last April in 5 starts gave up only 3 homers. He gave up 3 homers in 1 start at Chase Field last week.
Yeah,
Our eye on defense. So sorry, BB. Brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center. Look at the Giants.
The patchwork Giants tonight. We mentioned it earlier. A lot of the starters not in the lineup tonight. Chris Marrero will be in left field. Gorkys Hernandez in center. Hunter Pence over in right field. Our old buddy Aaron Hill getting the start at third base tonight. He'll be flanked by Eduardo Nunez at shortstop. Joe Panik at second base. Brandon Belt over at first. And with Buster Posey on the 7-day concussion list, Nick Hundley will do the catching tonight for right-hander Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, certainly a different look to the Giants with no Span, no Crawford, no Posey. Mark Carlson, the plate umpire tonight. He'll have the balls and strikes. C.B. Bucknor is at first base. Manny Gonzalez, our second base umpire, and the crew chief, Fieldon Culbreth, is at third. So bundle up and settle in with us. Diamondbacks baseball. The D-backs and the Giants from San Francisco. A.J. Pollock leads it off.
The Diamondbacks are still looking for their first hit to start the ball game. Leadoff hitters are 0 for 8 so far this season.
A.J. hitting .250 with a home run. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it up into that wind, which is blowing hard toward left field. Gorkys Hernandez has it. 1 pitch, 1 out for Samardzija. Torey Lovullo felt like the D-backs approach at the plate yesterday against Matt Moore was a little hurried, a little rushed. So it's interesting to see A.J. chase the first one tonight.
Yeah, we had been commenting throughout the homestand the quality of at-bats up and down the lineup. Everybody seemed willing to grind it out. They weren't afraid to hit with 2 strikes. They came through many times with 2 strikes, but I think Matt Moore dictated that more than anything else. He was pounding that strike zone early, and Diamondbacks tried to attack some of those early strikes.
Yeah, he really mixed up his pitches well. Most of the D-backs hitters were talking about that after the game last night. 1-1 to David Peralta. David homered off Samardzija last week at Chase Field. Diamondbacks have won 5 of the 9 games they played here at AT&T Park last season, and 13 of 20 in this ballpark since 2015, so they've done well here. Checks a swing, but it's a strike, says Mark Carlson, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Peralta.
And we talked about Samardzija stuff in that start at Chase Field. A sinker, a cutter, he'll throw a split finger, he'll mix in an occasional slider, an occasional curveball, but mostly sinkers, cutters, and splitters.
Strikes out Peralta. 1 down, 2 down.
That's that cut fastball. Looked like it was starting right down the heart of the plate. Ends up off the corner, down and in for a swinging strike 3 by David Peralta.
Here's Goldie, an even 300 with 2 homers. One of those home runs, an opposite field shot off Jeff Samardzija last week in Phoenix.
395 feet out near the RamTrucks.com pool area. He blasted that ball to the opposite field. That pitch was actually working its way down and in. You talk about staying inside a pitch. Yep, there we go.
Well, Buster Posey hit on the side of the head by a Taijuan Walker fastball last night. Posey today was placed on baseball's 7-day concussion disabled list. And here Goldie takes one to start the first.
Right in the wallet.
Now that's, I'm told, where you're supposed to hit somebody when you're trying to send a message.
Yeah, you're
right?
just sending a message. You don't want to hurt anybody, send anybody to the disabled list, but you just want to let the opposing team know that you didn't appreciate knocking their starting catcher out of the lineup for at least a week.
Jake Lamb with a 7-game hitting streak. Jake batting .250 with a pair of home runs, including a homer off Samardzija last week at Chase Field. There's Taijuan Walker. Talked to Torey Lovullo before the game today, and he thought that Taijuan was executing his pitches well enough to wiggle out of some jams. Here's the Lamb home run last week. But Torey really didn't think that hitting Posey affected Walker for the rest of the game. Taijuan says he was a little shook up.
I asked Bruce Bochy about the condition of his catcher before the ball game today, and he said, well, he says he's okay. He seems to be okay. Understands what we're saying to him. He knows how many fingers we're holding up. He said, but last year when Joe Panik suffered his concussion, it took 10 days before the symptoms really started to take hold, and they eventually had to disable Joe Panik.
Well, he hit Goldie right in the wallet, walked Lamb, and now he'll deal with the Yasmani Tomas.
Yeah, you know, that retribution or payback, whatever you want to call it, is all well and good as long as you get the next guy out. You walk the following hitter, and then Yasmani Tomas takes you deep. Maybe you think twice about drilling Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, Yasmani hit one deep yesterday, his first home run of the season, off lefty Matt Moore. 2 outs, Goldie at second and Lamb at first. Yasmani has it safely in 4 straight games. In fact, as he begins tonight, he's got 8 hits in his last 16 at bats, and 5 of those hits are for extra bases. Now 7 straight balls issued by Jeff Samardzija. Lifted in the air, up in the wind. Gorky Hernandez backs up just in front of the warning track, and he's got it. And Samardzija strands 2. Robbie Ray coming up against the San Francisco Giants. Covey Cove tonight. The D-backs and the Giants. And your Ram truck starting pitcher for Arizona, the left-hander Robbie Ray. He faced these Giants in his first start of the season last week in Phoenix and allowed only 3 hits in 5 2/3. Struck out 6, walked 3, hoping to be effective and efficient in the return bout tonight.
Yeah, he gave up 3 runs in that ball game, but I would say he pitched much better than his numbers indicated. And as always with Robbie, pitch count has been an issue. You'd like to see him have some very quick innings here in the early part of this ball game.
Torey Lovello told us today D-backs really encouraged by what they've seen from Robbie Ray this spring, and they expect that to continue here tonight. Had a good outing against the Giants last week. He got off to a very good start in that ball game. Robbie actually retired the first 7 batters he faced before Aaron Hill yanked a fastball for a home run. Gorkys Hernandez will lead it off for the Giants. He swings at the first pitch and lines it right to Goldie.
We got a man there.
Your lineup for Bruce Bochy's Giants.
Gorkys Hernandez obliged by making a quick 1-pitch out. He'll be playing center field tonight. Brandon Belt making his way to the plate. He'll be the first baseman. Hunter Pence out in right field. Aaron Hill over at third base. Nick Hundley behind the plate. Eduardo Nunez at shortstop. Chris Marrero will be out in left field today with Joe Panik at second and Jeff Samardzija on the mound.
D-backs put the overshift on the right-hand side for the left-hand hitting Belt. Ball 1. Brandon Belt off to a .233 start. He's got 7 hits, 6 of them for extra bases, including 3 home runs. That's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Brandon Drury, the second baseman, behind the second base bag, and Chris Owings, the shortstop, out in the outfield. Another check swing from Belt. He didn't go, says Fielden Culbreth, and it's 2-1. Belt walked twice in yesterday's opener. He was 0 for 2. Chris Iannetta behind the plate tonight. 3-1. We've mentioned this time and time again, and every time we do, Brandon Belt seems to get more patient, but he has really become one of the most disciplined hitters in all of baseball up there. Nice slider there from Robbie Ray, and it's a full count, 3-2.
I think he's reached that stage of his career, Brandon Belt I'm talking about, where he knows what he can handle, what he can't handle, and he just rarely swings at pitches that he cannot handle.
Yeah, he does not guess. Doesn't sit too much on one pitch. And Robbie Ray doubles up and strikes him out, 2 down. Our eye on defense for the D-backs, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center.
Once again, Tomas, Pollock, and Peralta left to right across the outfield. It'll be Jake Lamb and Chris Owings on the left side of the infield with Brandon Drury and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Chris Iannetta behind the dish tonight for left-hander Robbie Ray.
Hunter Pence. Fastballs in there for strike 1. Pence had a pair of hits yesterday. He singled and doubled. 281 on the year with 1 home run. Fastball gets away from Robbie Ray, and it's 1-1. Slider in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Can see the uniform redesign on Robbie Ray there, the teal numbers and the teal lettering on the back of the jersey. A little easier to see. The name is in teal, the number on the front in teal as well. That's a good look right there.
And I'm sure the other team's broadcast department really likes the new numbers and letters.
Well, it's funny, you watch the World Baseball Classic, there was a lot of discussion about the Diamondback gray color that they debuted last year. Well, all the road uniforms in the WBC were that same color gray. So we're trendsetters in Arizona. Hunter Pence reaches down and pokes it into left field. A big turn at first, a 2-out single. Time now, BB, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, we talked about Robbie Ray's last outing against the Giants at Chase Field. Gave up the solo home run to Aaron Hill. The other 2 runs that he surrendered came after walks. A leadoff walk in the 4th, a 2-out walk in the 5th. So no freebies tonight. Make him earn it.
Aaron Hill, 2 hits and 11 at-bats, including the home run at Chase Field last week against Robbie Ray. That was actually in Aaron's first at-bat in a Giants uniform. Ray had retired the first 7 he faced in that game until Hill's homer. That came with 1 out in the 3rd. There's a strike. Aaron Hill down the left field line and gone.
Hard to believe he pulled this ball. We know from Aaron Hill's time in the desert, he is a dead pull, dead fastball hitter, and got one to his liking there.
One of just 3 hits allowed by Robbie in that game over 5 2/3 innings. So Aaron Hill batting cleanup. He's in there at 3rd base tonight. Eduardo Nunez moves over to shortstop, and Brandon Crawford gets the night off against the lefty. There's the Robbie Ray quick move to first, and Pence is back inside. He started mixing that up a bit more.
Ooh, a little mini Pence on the field before the ball game. Young man had his Giants uni on, and Hunter Pence do going, and beard, and the whole look.
That was during Giants batting practice, and Hunter was nice enough to go over there with the young man and kneel down and have a conversation with him. This is lifted, foul ground first base side. It's in that wind for Goldie. And that's the 3rd out, so Robbie Ray strands the 2-out single. No score from San Francisco.
We head to the top half of the 2nd inning. A D-backs home run tonight, fans, means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at participating Jack-in-a-Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
A bumpy ride for Jeff Samardzija in that 1st inning. He threw 14 pitches, but only 5 for strikes and 1.7 straight balls. He hit Goldie in the wallet. Maybe a little message pitch there, and then walked Jake Lamb, but Tomas flied out to strand 2, and now Brandon Drury leads off the Diamondbacks 2nd. First pitch swinging. Right center field. Pence calling for it. Chris Owings, the shortstop tonight. 345 with 1 home run. Chris doubled in the 9th inning yesterday against the closer Mark Melancon. Going to make a note of that. CO, of course, hit that walk-off single opening day against Melancon. Doubled against him yesterday. So file that away somewhere for your beat the streak.
He owns it.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Chris has it safely in 6 of the first 7 games in which he's played this year, including the last 3 in a row.
Diamondbacks are very fortunate to miss Madison Bumgarner and Johnny Cueto in this 3-game series here in San Francisco. I was thinking back to last season when Cueto came to the Giants and Samardzija started to do a big upper body turn, had his back almost turned completely to home plate before turning and delivering the ball. He's back to what he used to do before Johnny Cueto came to San Francisco. You know, when it's not natural to your delivery, sometimes it feels too forced. You find yourself thinking about your windup instead of executing the pitch. So Samardzija's just gone back to his comfort zone the way he's pitched pretty much his whole career.
Well, Samardzija got off to a dominant start last week at Chase Field. He struck out 5 of the first 7 Diamondbacks he faced. Worked 3 scoreless innings until the back-to-back homers by Peralta and Goldie. Bounced back after that, struck out the side in the 5th, in fact. But then Jake Lamb hit that big 3-run homer in the 6th inning. And Samardzija did not survive that inning. Full count, 3-2 on Chris Owings. Chris Iannetta, the catcher's on deck. Second strikeout for Samardzija, 2 down.
Looked like another cutter away. At times it'll be a little bit bigger and look more like a slider, but that one at 87, just a little bit of lateral movement away from the barrel of the bat. CO comes up empty.
Iannetta 1 for 9 to start the year. His last start was Friday, the win against Cleveland. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. Torey Lovullo thought at times yesterday the D-backs had some 1-pitch outs where the hitters took swings on certain pitches at certain times that otherwise not take. They kind of got off their game a little bit yesterday, and that created some quick innings. Matt Moore had 5 1-2-3 innings yesterday, and he thought his ball club just 1 step off, things not quite clicking. Only 4 hits in the ball game yesterday.
Yeah, 5 1-2-3 innings, and 3 other times only 4 hitters made their way to the plate and in. Matt Moore was really good, but in a quiet, subtle kind of a way.
Yeah. And Moore went 8 innings, gave up only 3 hits. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 5, 93 pitches through 8 complete. And Melancon closed it in the 9th, his 2nd save.
Old buddy, the late great Ron Santo used to call that the comfortable collar.
Well, Samardzija rings up Iannetta. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 for the ball game. No score in San Francisco. Here this spring, I asked Archie Bradley, what's your favorite thing about playing in San Francisco?
The announcer. She's the Brandon Bell.
Batting second, first baseman, number 9, Brandon Bell.
So we had to get these two together. Rennell Brooks-Moon, who is great, by the way, really, really good. And her biggest fan, Archie Bradley, and Rennell was thrilled that Archie was a big fan. And we'll have more of that on our broadcast tomorrow before the ball game. There she is.
Very nice.
Working her post here at AT&T Park, Rennell Brooks-Moon.
You know, it's surprising the things players notice when they go to visiting ballparks. You know, you might think, well, the ball glove out in left center field or McCovey Cove, but you notice the PA announcer.
That's what Rennell was so surprised about. I can't believe you noticed. She really got a kick out of it. It was a lot of fun to get those two together before the game today. The catcher for the Giants tonight, Nick Hundley. Yeah, that's leaking toward the seats and out of play. Diamondbacks and the Giants. Giants, before the ball game today, placed Buster Posey on baseball's 7-day concussion disabled list. Tim Fedorovich was called up from AAA, so it's going to be Hundley and Fedorovich behind the plate for at least 7 days. Buster hit on the head by that pitch from Taijuan Walker in the first inning yesterday. And as you said, with the concussions, it's a sensitive issue up here because Joe Panik was hit in the head by a Matt Moore pitch last year. Came back and played for a while. In fact, hit a home run, but then had to shut it down for a month.
Yeah, Boach said it was about 10 days after the incident that the symptoms really came on strong. And Bruce Bochy also mentioned Mike Matheny, whose career basically came to an end because of a concussion.
There's Buster Posey. He's in the Giant dugout. He walked off the field under his own power and was not taken to a hospital yesterday. But Panik, you know, he missed a month, and when he came back, he played just about 60 games, and he said, you know, even though he was cleared to play, his eyesight stayed fuzzy. Had trouble seeing the ball up there. And Panik had only .215 after he came back from his concussion. Goldie at first.
And really the big concern with Buster Posey yesterday, he wanted to stay in the ball game, but being a catcher, you can imagine one foul tip off the mask after already being hit in the head by a pitch could have been a disaster. So I think the Giants being cautious is absolutely the right thing to do.
Well, Robbie Ray are always hoping he'll be efficient, but so far through 5 batters, that's 3-2 counts already. So he's throwing a lot of pitches. Eduardo Nunez is the shortstop tonight. No Brandon Crawford in the lineup against the lefty Ray. Nunez singled yesterday. He was 1 for 4. Just off the tip of the glove. Owings charges, barehands it, but Nunez runs too well. Not much CO could do that time as Robbie Ray knocked it down.
Yeah, Robbie probably would have been better served just to let that one go, but your instincts take over. You see a ball you think you can make a play on, and unfortunately that effort deflected the ball and slowed it down. CO could only make the barehanded attempt, but as you said, Nunez runs way too good.
Yeah, Nunez, 40 stolen bases last year. He's 4 for 4 this year, and he'll put the oven mitt on as Chris Marrero steps in, the left fielder tonight. 1 for 14 with 6 strikeouts this year, and he struck out on his only at bat yesterday. Marrero's a former first-round pick now with his 5th team. Signed by the Giants last November, and for the moment he's the right-hand hitting version of a left field platoon with Jared Parker, who's also struggling big time to start the year. Well, the Giants are taking a look at Melvin Upton Jr., Drew Stubbs, and some other folks. They have Michael Morse rehabbing an injury as well, so they have some options down there in case this left field platoon doesn't work out. Time finally granted by Mark Carlson. Marrero had a single over the weekend in San Diego. It was his first major league base hit since June of 2013. He has hung in for a long time, playing just about everywhere. '15th overall pick in the '06 draft by the Washington Nationals out of high school in Opelika, Florida. Played independent ball a couple of years ago, winter ball in the Dominican, Mexico, Venezuela. He's been everywhere.
Well, they always say that scouting baseball players is a very inexact science. And Chris Marrero is an example of that. He may end up finding a home here in San Francisco or somewhere else and developing into the player that a lot of people thought he was going to be. But well, it's tough looking at a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid and projecting what he's going to be in the future.
You know, it's kind of like hitting, you know, some of those scouts are wrong 60-70% of the time, and those are the good ones. It is a difficult job. Well, Marrero's been with the Nationals, the Orioles, the White Sox, Red Sox, and now the Giants. Played most of last year at AAA Pawtucket in the Boston organization. And 23 home runs there. He's got power. Robbie nibbling a bit, 2-1.
Certainly his focus is split between the runner Eduardo Nunez over there at first base, who is capable of stealing a base, and the hitter at the plate, Chris Marrero. Just check the runner, make sure you make him stop over there at first base, and then focus on executing that pitch.
Yeah, Robbie has really brought things to a halt here, trying to control Nunez at first. Falling behind, 3-1. Joe Paddock on deck. Ball 4. A single and a walk, both with a 1 out. And the Giants have something going with the number 8 hitter Paddock coming up. Torey Lovullo, Jerry Nair, the bench coach. Chris Iannetta to the mound.
Well, apparently Robbie Ray didn't see our key to the ball game today. No freebies his first walk of the game, but double play still in order here if he can make a good pitch to Joe Paddock and get that ground ball.
It's been a good start to the year for Paddock. 348. Nunez at second and Marrero at first, 1 out. Paddock walked and scored in that nightmare 4th inning yesterday. Swing and a miss. Torey was asked a lot about that play in the 4th inning when all 3 runs scored on Matt Moore's little squib shot, and he just said, look, never going to get on guys for trying to make a play. It's a hard game. It's not easy, and he's never going to fault a guy who's operating at full speed going out there and trying to make a play. Would it have been better if they just kind of eaten that ball and given up the run? Sure, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Well, Robbie Ray really trying to bring this Giant running game to a halt. 30 pitches, only 16 for strikes. One and 1. The pitcher Samardzija on deck.
Robbie threw 16 pitches in the first inning. And now he's thrown 16 in the second, but he's got only 1 out.
And it's really been a case of fastball command in the early going. He's been pretty good with his slider and his changeup, but just can't seem to find the zone with the fastball consistently.
Missed with that fastball, and it's 3-1. Well, this has been the problem with Robbie Ray. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Only 6 National League pitchers issued more walks last season than Robbie Ray. 5 3-ball counts through the first 8 Giant batters. Walked him. Single walk, bases loaded, 1 out for the pitcher, Samardzija.
Well, unfortunately, this is supposed to be the part of the lineup where you have somewhat of a breather in it. When you face those 7, 8, and 9 hitters, you'd like to think that you can work your way through those guys with relative ease before rolling back around to the top of the order, but leadoff hit to, or rather a 1-out hit to Eduardo Nunez, that infield single, and then back-to-back walks, now facing a pretty good hitting pitcher in Jeff Samardzija with the bases loaded.
And remember yesterday, Giants had the bases loaded with a pitcher up, and this happened. Matt Moore.
Look away.
Watch Panic come flying around third here and score the second run. And Jared Parker right behind as Mathis throws that one away. Errors on the play by Walker and Mathis. And a little infield squibber went about 30 feet and scored all 3 runs. So here we go. Samardzija, bases full, 1 down.
You know, as disappointed as we were the way that play went yesterday, the Giants fans and their team had to be ecstatic by the base running. That was very heads-up aggressive base running by both Panic and Parker to clear those bases when the ball was only 30 feet from home plate.
New third base coach this year, former Reno Aces manager Phil Nevin. Waving him home. Here's the 0-1. Fastball missed, a ball and a strike. Samardzija can hit a little bit. He can put on a batting practice show with the best of them. Here's where it gets a little frustrating with Robbie because he's got 7 first pitch strikes through the first 9 hitters. So he's been ahead in the count almost every time, but then nibbles and falls behind. Well, the fastball command gets away. Got him. A huge out, number 2.
Well, batting practice against the coach throwing 60 miles an hour is a little different than facing Robbie Ray with that mid-90s fastball. Good location right at the knees on that outside corner.
Yeah, there's no way you can spit on that with 2 strikes, right?
No. Too close to take.
Corquez Hernandez lined out to Goldie on the first pitch of the ball game for the Giants. Hernandez hitless in his last 16 at bats. Bases full, 2 outs.
Ooh. Stop Chris Iannetta. That's one of the toughest ones any catcher will have to face. That breaking ball that hits this far out in front of home plate. It's got some side spin on it. Chris kept it right there.
Fastball missed. 2-0 on Corquez Hernandez. Robbie 40 pitches so far and more balls than strikes.
Yorkis Hernandez, you may recall, had that 2-hit game last week against the Diamondbacks when he knocked in a career-high 4 runs. But those are still his only base hits this year. He's 2 for 22 right now. '25th pitch of the inning. Right there. Here's number 26. Samardzija has thrown 26 pitches for the ball game. Nunez, the runner at third. Morero at second and Panic at first. Fly ball left field. Yasmani Tomas just shy of the wall out there, and he's got it. Whew. Robbie Ray walks 2 but leaves him loaded. Somehow we're still scoreless. No score, the D-backs and the Giants. And now it's time for the Unlimited Baseball break presented by T-Mobile. A look around the rest of Major League Baseball. Chris Sale, so far for the Boston Red Sox, winless in 2 starts, but he's pitched very well. Will Myers hit for the cycle for the Padres last night, and the Minnesota Twins are leading the American League Central Division. Thanks in no small part to the Diamondbacks' 3-game sweep of Cleveland over the weekend.
We do what we can to help those Twinkies.
We'll be there this summer. Target Field in Minneapolis. Robbie Ray leads off the 3rd against Jeff Samardzija, who's retired 4 in a row. Turned out to be a 27-pitch 2nd inning for Robbie Ray. And he threw only 13 strikes. It's wiggled off the hook somehow on Hernandez fly ball that stayed in the ballpark. And he thought that might get some wind behind it. The wind is blowing pretty strong across the outfield from right center toward the left field foul pole, which is right where Hernandez hit the ball. Robbie Ray drives one toward the right field corner, and he just missed it. That might be in the water.
Wow, I was hoping the wind might help straighten that one out a little bit. There it is.
A foul ball into McCovey Cove off the bat of Robbie Ray. Remember when Wade Miley hit one out here a couple of years ago?
Yeah, too bad it wasn't fair.
Wow, splash hit on the fly. No hop. Trying for one more. This one's in the seats. Samardzija might want to throw something else. They fished it out of there. Got to be cold down there tonight. Up the middle, a base hit for Robbie Ray. Well, he earned that one. A leadoff single, first hit for the Diamondbacks.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. I wanted to get that one in early here in this inning. I got a good feeling.
Nice. Gonna get the jacket for Robbie Ray. Top of the order, A.J. Pollock now. A.J. flying out to center on the first pitch of the ball game. A.J. 0 for 4 yesterday. Had a very hot start in the opening series against the Giants, but he's cooled off a bit lately. 1 for his last 19 up there. He was hitless in 3 at-bats against Samardzija last week in Phoenix. In front of that one, Samardzija ahead 0-2.
Yeah, it looks like Samardzija has a real good feel for that cut fastball. We've seen a number of them at 86, 87, 88 miles per hour with that lateral movement away from the right-handed hitter. It should be the 2-seam sinking fastball down and in. A little too far in that time.
Samardzija last year an average fastball velocity of just over 94 miles an hour. That put him top 10 among all major league starters. He's a hard thrower out there with the 4-seam, the 2-seam, and the cutter. Just missed with that one.
That's a good take. That's a pitch that A.J. swung at a couple of pitches ago. That cutter that starts on the outer third of the plate and then heads toward the corner. Able to take that one just off that outside corner.
That cutter from the right-hand pitcher moving away from the right-hand hitter. Reaches out and drops the 2-2 into center. A pair of singles open up the D-backs third. David Peralta now. Peralta struck out his first time up. The pitcher Robbie Ray at second, A.J. Pollock at first. David's always hit well in this ballpark. He's a .315 career hitter at AT&T Park. He's homered here twice.
You know, this is always a special challenge for the third base coach when you have a pitcher running at second base. Now we've seen Chris Marrero doesn't have a strong arm in left field. Gorkys Hernandez about average in center, and Hunter Pence, we're not quite sure what his throwing arm is going to do on any given day, but as a third base coach, it makes it a little tougher when you have a guy who's not used to running the bases. Robbie Ray is not the fastest guy on the team, but you'd love to be aggressive and send him if at all possible.
A couple of hard fastballs from Samardzija put him ahead of Peralta 0-2. Another one misses upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes. Gave it a home run and a walk against Samardzija last week. Jammed him, popped up, and drifting out of play. By the way, it was on this date, April 11th of 2000, that the Giants played their first ever game in this ballpark. Back then it was Pac Bell Park. Now it's AT&T Park. Barry Bonds homered in that game 17 years ago. But the Giants lost to the Dodgers 6-5. Kevin Elster, of all people, hit 3 home runs for Los Angeles on this date 17 years ago. Peralta can't check, strikes out for the second time, 1 down. That's 4 strikeouts for Samardzija.
Cutter again, equally effective against righties and lefties. Throws it to the same location, and he threw the cutters to A.J. Pollock. That one ended up down and into David Peralta. They could not check.
Goldie hit in the wallet in his first plate appearance. Pretty obvious that Goldie is the Diamondbacks equivalent of Buster Posey, and in his first at bat he was hit right where you're supposed to hit guys when you're doing that kind of thing. Buster Posey today placed on the 7-day concussion disabled list. Tim Fedorovich called up for the minors.
Doubles up on that cutter, missed with the first one, got the swinging strike from Goldie that time. Jeff Samardzija thrown a lot of early fastballs, 10 out of 12 first pitch fastballs so far in this game, but only 5 of those in the strike zone.
Goldie an 0 for 4 yesterday. He's always hit well in this ballpark. He's homered here 8 times. Robbie Ray at second. A.J. Pollock at first.
I think some of Goldie's success in this ballpark can be attributed to Tim Lincecum.
Well, comes with the territory.
Oh boy, he used to beat him like a drum.
Big time Timmy Jim. Spits on the 2-1, 3 balls and a strike. Samardzija has walked 1, struck out 4 so far. Jake Lamb on deck. Just the 3rd 3-ball count of the ball game for Jeff Samardzija. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Stage is set for Jake Lamb. Jake walked his first time up. Remember, he had a 3-run home run against Samardzija last week at Chase Field.
Yeah, the only home run of the 3 in that game that was pulled hard to right field. David Peralta went oppo, as did Paul Goldschmidt.
Jake, a .333 career hitter at AT&T Park. 4 for 10 career against Jeff Samardzija. Jake homered twice here last year. Popped up and drifting out of play. He's really going to have to get a hold of one to hit it through that wind that's blowing in from right and right center. We saw Robbie Ray, a splash hit on a foul ball. Too bad he never wasn't able to keep that fair. No pitcher here has ever had a splash hit at AT&T Park.
And from what I understand, no right-hander has ever hit one out of here in the McCovey Cove.
Lamb sends one deep center field. Gorkys Hernandez at the track. He's got it just shy of the wall, and it gets away. Ray will score. Here comes Pollock. Goldie right behind. Lamb's in at third, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks. He just whiffed on it.
Big at bat for Jake Lamb. Going to take a look how Samardzija went after him. An elevated fastball well out of the zone. Easy to take that pitch. Got a good pitch to hit right there, but fouled it off. That fastball was actually off of the outside corner, but we've talked about Jake Lamb and his tremendous plate coverage. And you're right, he just whiffed on it. I picked up the runners, assuming that Hernandez was going to make the catch on a relatively routine play out there in the gap. He'll be credited with a triple.
A 3-run triple for Jake Lamb, and it's 3-0. Yasmani Tomas. It looked like maybe he had an extra step or two that he didn't think he had. Oh, 1-1 on Yasmani, who flying out to center in his first at bat. Aaron Hill at third. 2 outs. Brandon Drury now. Brandon swung at the first pitch in his at bat against Samardzija, flat out to right. Trying to get Jake Lamb home from third with 2 outs.
8 games into the season, this is the earliest lead the Diamondbacks have ever had in a ball game.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
I don't know either.
Considering how they've been coming back.
Well, the good news is the Diamondbacks have not lost a lead yet this year.
Fair point. Did not have the lead against the Giants on opening day at any point in the ball game until CO's walk-off won it. Branded out in front of that one, 1-1. Samardzija working hard in this third inning, already over 50 pitches. And Robbie Ray now with a 3-0 lead. Boy, it's so rare that you see a major league outfielder get to a spot to field a fly ball like that and not catch it. But that's what happened to Gorkys Hernandez. He was there, covered a lot of ground, went deep into that notch there, but just couldn't come up with it. A 3-run triple for Lamb. 30th pitch of this inning for Jeff Samardzija on the way. That's headed toward the seats in the right field corner and out of play. Boy, Samardzija had a 14-pitch first, a 12-pitch second. Now more than 30 pitches in the third. Tapper back to the mound. Samardzija has it. And that's the inning. But the Diamondbacks get 3 on Jake Lamb's 3-run triple to deep left center. They lead the Giants 3-0.
Triple scoring 3 runs, giving Robbie Ray a 3-0 lead. Robbie Ray wiggled out of a bases loaded jam in the second, but Jeff Samardzija did not. Jody Jackson back with you as Robbie Ray takes the hill here. Now he's thrown 43 pitches, 22 for strikes. Troy Lovello told me, though, he loves when he's on the attack. He's got so much confidence. And guys, both of those things are a little bit easier when you have that 3-0 lead.
You're right, Jody. Robbie walked 2 in that second inning. And left the bases loaded, struck out Samardzija, got Gorkys Hernandez to fly out. Now he leads at 3-0. Brandon Belt starts off the Giant third. A one-hopper into the shift. Owings the shortstop. A 6-3 putout, 1 down.
Boy, does that help? Big one pitch out to a dangerous hitter.
And Brandon Belt is a guy who handles himself pretty well against lefties, batting second tonight. So a quick 1 pitch out to start the third, and now here's Hunter Pence. Pence singled on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. Had a couple of hits in the ball game yesterday.
I think I figured out the mystery of Hunter Pence's pants and why he wears them up above his knee.
Interesting. I can't wait to hear.
Well, this is just my own theory, but when I was in the minor leagues with the Giants, they made us all wear our pants up just under the knee. High socks, you know, the pants where guys, you know, you see them from time to time hike they put the knock socks on, if you will. Hunter Pence pulls his pants above his knee, and I think that's to not get low strikes called on. The demarcation of the bottom of the strike zone is usually the bottom of the knees, and that's where most guys wear their pants when they wear them up like that. But he hikes them above the knee, giving the illusion that the strike zone is a little bit higher than it really is, so he possibly doesn't get those low strike calls that some other guys might get.
He has the optical advantage.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair.
He'll be out here in Bermuda shorts tomorrow.
Like John Miller. He'll be up there in Bermuda shorts and flip-flops when it's 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie got that quick out on 1 pitch against Belt. Now he's running full on Pence, 3-2. Now 50 pitches for Robbie, only 26 for strikes. Aaron Hill will be next.
Of course, keep in mind at the time in the Giants organization, this was the same group of coaches that took all of our bats away in the middle of the season one year because they thought that the entire organization in the minor leagues was striking out too much. And it was because we were using thin-handled big barrel bats. So they took all of our bats and made everybody use the same model bat. Big, thick handle, big, thick barrel. That didn't work so well either.
I saw you down in the dugout before the game today messing around with some guys' bats.
Yeah, just checking them out. Yeah. As I expected, and probably because everybody in the game throws 96 miles an hour now, a lot shorter and a lot lighter than I remember ever in the history of the game.
Yeah, you don't get too many war clubs these days. Third walk of the ball game issued by Robbie Ray. Here's Aaron Hill. Drives one to center. It backs up A.J. Pollock. And A.J. runs it down. What a catch. A.J. Pollock in center. And Pence is flying back into first. Well, somehow Gorkys Hernandez missed his ball. And A.J., it looked like he had no chance to back up and get that one. Somehow snagged it.
Wow. A.J. never broke stride. Uses that speed running back toward that little notch out there in left center field. Reaches up at the last instant. Bangs up against the wall. What a nice catch by A.J. Long way to run that time.
And you get the flashback to that catch he made in this ballpark 2 years ago off the bat of Jared Parker when he reached out like that, extended over the outfield fence and robbed him of a home run.
Good pull. I couldn't remember who hit that ball, but I remember that catch.
Got a tremendous jump. Great read there. Great route to the ball. And of course the Diamondbacks Made a bobblehead out of that play for AJ last year. Here's the catcher, Nick Hundley. What a play. That's a big league center fielder right there. Boy, Hunter Pence was halfway to third base when AJ ran that one down. It seemed like for sure it would get over his head. Hundley knocks it into center. Nick Hundley just his second hit as a Giant. And here's Eduardo Nunez. Nunez singled his first time up.
That was that little chopper over the mound that Robbie just got a piece of. Unfortunately slowed it down enough that CO could not make the play at first base.
Hunter Pence at second, Nick Hundley at first. Swings at the first one, hits it right to Goldie. And Robbie Ray strands two. Through three in San Francisco. What a catch by A.J. Pollock. D-backs up 3-zip. By A.J. Pollock. D-backs hold a 3-0 lead as we start the fourth. Fans, Pepsi is the official soft drink of your Arizona Diamondbacks. Stop by your local Fry's and stock up on some today. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the D-backs. What a jump he got on that one, too.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing a center fielder, a guy that plays all three outfield positions, will tell you about playing center field. You can see where the ball is in relation to the strike zone. You can see the barrel of the bat come through the hitting zone. You know whether the batter's a little in front or a little behind, and usually you can get a much better jump in center field than either one of the corner outfield spots.
Chris Owings leads off the fourth. CO struck out his first time up. Samardzija has walked 2, struck out 4 so far.
It's a slower breaking ball from Samardzija at 79. He calls it a curveball. It doesn't have legitimate 12-6 break like you see on some curveballs, but it's an effective off-speed pitch for him.
Aaron Hill at third base tonight. Low throw scooped up by Belt, one away.
Boy, Aaron Hill wasted no time right there. Got that ball and fired across the diamond. He knows Chris Owings' speed. He wasn't going to waste any time getting that ball over to Brandon Belt.
Chris Iannetta, the catcher tonight, struck out looking on a dicey third strike call by the plate ump Mark Carlson. I know our producer Brad the Big Dog Weimer is happy about that Jake Lamb triple. He had Jake Lamb tonight for Beat the Streak.
Well, congratulations to Big Dog. Glad somebody won today.
Yeah, it didn't go well. I was at a sky high 4 and right back to 0.
I'm with you.
How did Jared Weaver pitch that well at Coors Field?
Know.
There's no way. Scientifically impossible. Every Rocky should have had 4 hits. I went with Parra and Arenado.
And I had Blackman and LeMahieu.
Now the Rockies ended up beating the Padres 3-2, but boy, Jared Weaver in that ballpark, you think, okay, it's like feeding day at the zoo. Not so much. Chris able to lay off. He's ahead 3-1. Robbie Ray, who hit one foul into McCovey Cove on the fly. His first time up, wound up with a single, is on deck. Third walk issued by Samardzija. No pitcher, either home or away, has ever had a splash hit at AT&T Park. There's been 111 all-time shots into the Cove. Robbie hit one into the water on the fly, but foul his first time up. Squares to bunt. That one rolls foul.
Yeah, it ought to count for something. You know, they keep track of the splash hits for the Giants in fair territory down the right field line. They ought to have one of those scoreboards in foul territory.
This was Robbie Ray into that wind.
Oh, he pounded that ball out of here.
Just hooked it foul a little bit.
Fish food.
That's a major league foul ball, though.
You know what that is? Strike
one. Great, thank you, Greg Maddux.
Sure looked good, though. Robbie will be bragging about that for a long time.
As well he should be. Aaron Hill creeping in from third. Robbie squares and fouls that one off. And it's 0-2.
Yeah, we'll see if Torlavello keeps the bunt sign on here in a 2-strike count, or whether he turns Robbie Ray loose. Robbie, after that long foul ball down the right field line, got a base hit up the middle of the field.
Yeah. Scored on the Lamb triple. Squares on the 0-2, pulls back and takes ball 1. Well, that was the first 0-2 count for either pitcher here tonight. Both Robbie Ray and Jeff Samardzija throwing a lot of pitches. Pollock on deck. Squares one more time, gets the bunt down. Samardzija has one play.
Nice job.
Panic covers, 1-4 on the sacrifice. Iannetta into second base. Good night for Robbie Ray at the plate. A single, a run scored, a sacrifice bunt. Now Iannetta in scoring position. 2 down for A.J. Pollock, who singled and scored his last time up.
You know, Samardzija mixing in some more of those slower curveballs in this inning. And sometimes I think he outthinks himself out there on the mound. He's got 3 good fastballs, a 4-seamer, a cutter, a sinker that he usually can pound the strike zone with, but second and third time through the order he tries to mix in some of his secondary pitches, and a lot of times he finds himself behind in counts.
Well, instead of mixing those in, you could still throw fastballs but mix up locations, couldn't you?
Yeah, in and out. Throw the cutter away from a right-hander, throw it right at his front knee, break it across the inside corner, do the same thing with your sinker, throw it down and into a righty, then throw it to the back door. It gives the illusion of 6 different pitches if you can command it on both sides of the plate.
Aaron Hill at third smothers that one and takes an RBI away from A.J. Pollock. That gets through. It's 4-0 instead. It's a 3-zip D-backs lead. T&T Park, our State Farm winning combo, September of 2015, takes a home run away from Jared Parker. And then close to the same spot, this amazing running grab he made tonight.
Yeah, this one just a little bit short of the fence, but on the dead run as he got out there into deep left center field, ends up crashing into the wall after. Teammates really appreciated. AJ was fired up.
He really was. It seemed to lift up the entire dugout. Kept it a 3-0 game. Chris Marrero leads off the 4th against Robbie Ray. Marrero walked in his first plate appearance. Robbie had a very good 3rd inning, even though he walked the batter and gave up a single. 12 pitches, 8 strikes. Just what he needed after a 27-pitch second. One and one to Marrero, the left fielder tonight. Bottom 3rd of the Giants order due up. Marrero, Panic, Samardzija, 7, 8, 9. Both Marrero and Panic walked against Robbie Ray in that long second. But this time Marrero was caught looking. 3rd strikeout for Robbie, 1 down in the 4th.
They're at the bottom of the zone. Any part of the ball catches any part of that zone. It's considered to be a strike right down there at the bottom of the knees.
Well, you know what mistake Marrero made right there? His pants are too long.
His pants are way too long. He'll be wearing some Daisy Dukes out here tomorrow.
60 pitches, 33 strikes. Here's Panic.
There's a lot of different theories like that floating around. As you can imagine, the game of baseball, we've got a lot of downtime to come up with theories.
That's where we excel.
Yeah.
Got lots of theories. We're usually wrong. AJ coming in on this one.
A couple of former teammates, Joe Morgan and Jack Clark, used to always use like black stained bats because they felt playing night games at Candlestick Park, it was tougher for the defenders to see the bat come through the hitting zone. And if you can get a 1 or 2 step advantage on a defender, it might make the difference between a hit and an out.
Well, that makes sense. So does your Short pants theory, really.
It's starting to get scary.
The first pitch strike by Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray tonight has thrown 13 of 18 first pitch strikes. So he's been more or less ahead in the count all night long, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. He's walked 3. But has done a good job getting the pitch count back under control over these last 2 innings. He does not have a 1-2-3 inning tonight until now. 4 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. He set down 4 in a row and leads it 3-0.
The Diamondbacks, he struck out his first 2 times up in this game. I checked on David once again today because he was hit by a pitch. Matt Moore hitting that right arm yesterday. I said to David, why do you think you get hit so much? He said, I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. He kind of joked about maybe wearing something more protective over that arm. You can kind of see the redness there still on that right arm where he was beamed. But for David, he said he's had trouble. Left-handed pitchers seem to hit him more. It's been the trouble going back to last year. But the good news, guys, is he is okay. That name is still in the lineup, it seems, throughout the last couple days when he's been battling some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, we don't need to see David Jody running into any more outfield fences or making diving catches forward, landing on that right wrist. He struck out twice against Samardzija so far tonight. Diamondbacks lead at 3-0. A 3-run triple by Jake Lamb in the 3rd. A play that Gorkys Hernandez somehow missed, even though he got to the spot in that notch in deep left center. Samardzija goes back to the off speed, and Peralta even 1-1, 75 pitches, 43 strikes. David knocks it the other way. Marrero's out there, and he makes a nice sliding grab. Chris Marrero takes extra bases away from Peralta. So it's a night for outfield defense in San Francisco.
Yeah, that'll go as an 0 for 1 for David Peralta there, but that's a great approach against a fastball tailing away from him. Drive it out there to left field. Took a great play to get him.
Well, Marrero, not known as a defender, made a nice catch there. Now Goldie, who's been hit by a pitch, he's walked and scored a run. Samardzija plunked him in the wallet in his first at bat tonight. So hopefully that's the end of any Buster Posey recriminations. Fastball's in there at 96, and it's 0-2.
Just able to check his swing. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that is a great eye to be able to lay off that pitch. Look at the location of this. Just off of the outside corner. Was in the strike zone about 75% of the way to home plate, and then just dipped off the corner, and Goldie able to hold up.
Now the 3rd time through the order against Samardzija. Spits on a fastball, and it's 2-2. Samardzija recovered nicely after that 31-pitch third, a 16-pitch fourth. Jake Lamb on deck.
Boy, what a difference a day makes. Here at AT&T Park yesterday, some of the fans that were sitting in the sun were in tank tops. Got sunburned here at the ballpark yesterday afternoon. Everybody's wearing parkas tonight.
Forecast for tomorrow night is not great. Goldie finally waves at that one. 5 strikeouts for Samardzija. Jake Lamb had the game's big hit so far. In the 3rd inning, bases loaded. Somehow Gorkys Hernandez got to the spot but missed it. It's our Cox high-speed highlight. All 3 runs scored. First triple this year for Jake. That was his 12th career extra base hit in this ballpark. He's homered here 3 times.
Thirteen of the first 15 Diamondbacks hitters in this game got a first pitch fastball. Only 1 of the last 7. I mentioned that Samardzija goes to his secondary stuff the 2nd and 3rd time through the order. Sometimes unnecessarily.
Well, the Diamondbacks, since Lamb's 3-run triple, have not had a base hit. So whatever he's doing, it's working. 3 balls and a strike. Yasmani Tomas on deck. Yasmani a home run here yesterday. Ball 4. That's the 4th walk issued by Samardzija, and Tomas will hit. I'll remember in the game yesterday, Tomas twice struck out looking, and he thought, all right, maybe that's going to erode his newfound patience at the plate. Well, it seems to be doing just that so far. He's seen only 4 pitches in 2 at-bats. He's flied out and grounded out 0 for 2. First pitch swinging. Center field. Hernandez has to play it on a hop. Jake Lamb heads for 3rd, and he's in there. D-backs have something going here. They're on the corners with 2 down for Brandon Drury.
Well, I say it all the time. You never mind any hitter swinging at the first pitch if it's what you're looking for and you put a good stroke on it like Yasmani did right there. But the fact remains he's seen 5 pitches and 3 at-bats in this ball game.
Drury 0 for 2.
Runner in scoring position here for Brandon Drury with 2 outs in the inning. Diamondbacks were 0 for 4 last night with runners in scoring position. 1 for 6 so far tonight.
Diamondbacks for the season came into the game hitting .397 with runners in scoring position, the best mark in the major leagues.
With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, a .378 batting average for the D-backs.
Clutch. Drury sends it the other way. Hunter Pence is out there, and he runs it down. So Samardzija strands two. He keeps it a 3-0 D-backs lead.
Robbie Ray here in the bottom half of the fifth. D-backs lead at 3-0. Time to take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. D-backs fans will remember this one. Back in 2010 on April 11th, the Diamondbacks scored a team record 13 runs in the fourth inning of a 15-6 victory over the Pirates, including 3 home runs in that inning. Chris Young, Kelly Johnson, and the starting pitcher Edwin Jackson all went deep. And notice it was the fourth inning. What the D-backs have done this year, 4th, 5th, and 6th inning of ball games.
Those middle innings when the Diamondbacks have done most of their damage. All 3 runs tonight coming in the 3rd on the Lamb triple. And Gorkys Hernandez leads off the Giant 5th against Robbie Ray.
Also on this day in baseball history, 100 years ago, the Red Sox shut out the Yankees on opening day. A 3-hit complete game for the Boston starter, Babe Ruth.
Man, that seems like 100 years ago.
It was 100 years ago.
Well, Robbie Ray getting more efficient here after that 27-pitch second inning. He got 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 fourth on 10 pitches. Reaches out and gets that one, retires Hernandez. So Robbie's now set down 5 in a row. Here's Brandon Belt. Well, Brooks Moon, the voice of AT&T Park. She has become part of the personality of this place, and she's a wonderful woman. And Archie Bradley's always been a big fan. We got those two together. There's Rennell. Got them together before the ball game today. You'll see that meeting in the D-backs dugout tomorrow on the Diamondback Live pregame show. Archie and his roommate, buddy Jake Lamb, always enjoy imitating Rennell Brooks Moon, and we told her about it. She got all excited, so we got them together, and boy, Archie was great, and she was thrilled.
The Giants have always been trendsetters when it comes to their PA announcer. Sherry Davis was the first female PA announcer back at Old Candlestick Park.
Archie's favorite is when she says Brandon Belt.
Of course, there's no Chuck Drago.
Well, there's only one. Chuck's only one man.
That's right.
And we need him in our place. D-backs have the shift on for Belt, who's down 0-2. of fights it off, a little flare away from the shift, and Jake Lamb runs it down. I saw Chuck on the Twitter. I think he was doing some PA at a Little League game today. Really? Yeah, I mean, when we're out of town, Chuck has a lot to do, so he may show up at a Little League field near you and just start announcing the game. Hunter Pence is singled and walked. Giants still have only 3 hits against Robbie Ray, all singles. And if you can get Pence right here, it'll be back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Now it's 75 pitches, 43 strikes. He's gone full on Pence in both his at-bats so far. Pence singled in the first, walked in the third. And now he's behind 3-0. All 4. That's Robbie's 4th walk. Ends a stretch of 6 in a row. He'd retired and brings up Aaron Hill, the cleanup man. Hill so far has popped up, flied out. He's 0 for 2. Aaron's back near his home base. He's a native of Visalia, California. Giants brought in a lot of veterans this spring to compete for a reserve infield spot, and Aaron Hill won the job. They took a long look at Jimmy Rollins. They had Gordon Beckham in camp as well. They have the youngster Kelby Tomlinson, who had options left, so he was sent to AAA, and Aaron Hill got the roster spot. Bruce Bochy sees an experienced guy. He can move around. That's sort of what the Giants have been looking for in their utility guy. And Aaron so far has been a good fit. He's played left field, third base, second base.
And much like Daniel Descalso off the Diamondbacks bench, a veteran guy that'll give you a good professional at bat, whether he's in the starting lineup or coming off the bench to pinch hit late in the ball game.
Tried to check but couldn't hold up, and it's 1-2. The catcher Nick Hundley would be next. Our director Brian Moss giving you that look from behind home plate. Always reminds me of that 75 World Series that Joe Sr. did with Kurt Gowdy back in the day. The Reds and the Red Sox, they often would go to that camera angle at Fenway Park. See the big garage door out there in the outfield at Fenway that Fred Lynn always used to run full speed into, knock himself out.
Well, it gives you a little better perspective of how quickly that ball gets on the hitter.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch. Come on. Nope. That ball just missed. Mark Carlson says no. 3-2.
Well, you could tell by Robbie's reaction he really wanted that pitch right there. It looked like a tailing fastball right out there just off the outside corner.
Good call by Mark Carlson. Well, he walked Pence with 2 outs. Now he's run it full on Hill. Goldie will play behind the runner at first. Pence gets a running start, and Aaron Hill strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Robbie Ray through 5. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 3-0. So far, D-backs lead the Giants 3-0. Fans, if you arrive early to the Diamondback game against the Dodgers coming up next Saturday, April 22nd, you can get this D-backs car sunshade, courtesy of Safe Light Auto Glass. Hello. The pregame D-backs Fiesta open to all fans. Enjoy live music, food trucks, a beer garden, family entertainment, a whole lot more. Presented by Fry's Food Stores. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com. Saturday, April 22nd, you'll get this D-backs car shade. There's BB, and see, they could use a car shade.
D-backs fans in the house.
All right, no one's throwing anything at us yet.
It should be pointed out that that's the second car shade here in the booth. The first one, when we were rehearsing earlier today, the wind caught it and ended up over in Oakland.
Yeah, that wind has been going strong in from right center all day long. And it hasn't wavered as Chris Owings leads off the 6th. There were times during batting practice where I was convinced those flags were going to rip right off.
Oh, we could hear them. Empty stadium. We've talked about that before. It's just an audio delight when you go to a ballpark with no fans. You hear every ball echo off the seats, and we could hear those flags just ripping out there.
Let's wreck the Edmund Fitzgerald weather out there in the Cove. Chris Owings sends the 0-2 out to Hunter Pence, who makes a sliding grab, one down in the 6th.
Hey fans, a day after every D-backs win, you get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Chris Iannetta has struck out looking and walked.
Talking about that wind before the ball game today, any of the fans that have been to the ballpark for batting practice, you know they put up big protective screens to guard the first baseman, to guard the middle infielders as they practice turning double plays. They have a couple of screens up in the bullpen to protect the catchers down there. And the wind was blowing so hard it knocked all the screens over here at AT&T Park today.
And it really hasn't let up all day or all night. Pitch number 95 from Jeff Samardzija coming up. Iannetta hits it hard, but just foul right near the Giant bullpen where the right-hander Neil Ramirez has started warming up. Somebody's got to be on guard duty down there.
That's former big league catcher Eli Whiteside, who's one of the bullpen catchers for the Giants this year.
And Tim Fedorovich, who was just called up from AAA Sacramento, is down there warming up Neil Ramirez. Buster Posey on the 7-day concussion DL today.
Yeah, normally it would be Eli Whiteside, the bullpen catcher, warming up those pitchers in the bullpen, but Tim Fedorovich probably wants to see some of these guys and see what they throw, what kind of movement they have on their pitches before he finds himself behind the plate in the game.
Samardzija dropped that in there, and it's 2-2 on Chris Iannetta. There's Neil Ramirez, the right-hander. Split last season between the Cubs and the Twins. Fedorovich did the same. He was a Cub last year. In fact, he's got a World Series ring coming. Even though he really barely played for the Cubs last year, only played in 17 games, that's enough to get you a ring.
I think the Cubs are having their ring ceremony tomorrow pregame at Wrigley Field.
They have a long ceremony before every game all week long. 2-2 pitch. Another one pulled hard foul. And there's Whiteside pouncing on that one. Perry Mason was great as a Whiteside. Or Raymond Burr, I should say.
Raymond Burr, yeah. Ironside.
Ironside. Pitch number 100 coming up. 6 strikeouts for Samardzija. Robbie Ray will hit with 2 outs in the 6th. 100 pitches, 60 strikes. Robbie's had a good night at the plate. He hit a foul ball home run on the fly into the cove. He has also singled, scored a run, and dropped down a sacrifice bunt with 2 strikes.
Jeff Samardzija said, if you're going to act like a hitter, I'm going to pitch you like a hitter. Back-to-back splitters to start this sequence. He jumps ahead 0-2.
Yeah, that's not right.
There's another one.
Hundley behind the plate. He makes quick work of Robbie Ray. 7 strikeouts for Samardzija, but the Diamondbacks have a 3-0 lead. Francisco, where the D-backs lead the Giants 3-0. Hey fans, Thursday, come on out to 18 degrees, located inside the Ice Den in Scottsdale. For the Coyotes Icebreakers, it's presented by AutoNation. Coyotes broadcast team will be there. Matt McConnell and Tyson Nash, along with a special guest. Coyotes coach Dave Tippett for the season wrap-up discussion. It all begins at 7 o'clock at the Ice Den, Scottsdale's 18 degrees.
I'd like to thank Matt McConnell. Sent us a nice text message before the season started, wishing us good luck.
He's a good dude.
Safe travels, absolutely.
Yeah, he's good people.
Does a great job.
Well, Robbie Ray, 5 scoreless. He has walked 4, struck out 5, and the catcher Nick Hundley leads off the Giants' 6th. This is game number 9 on the 2017 season. And in 8 of those games, the Diamondbacks starting pitcher has opened up the 6th inning. That's just what you're looking for.
Boy, especially early in the season. You don't want to overtax that bullpen right out of the chute, but it's a pretty common occurrence. Starting pitchers just aren't stretched out as much as you'd like to see coming out of spring training, and many times short outings early in the season put an unfair load on that bullpen.
Well, Robbie really labored through that 27-pitch 2nd inning. When the Giants had the bases loaded and nobody out, he walked 2 in that inning, but struck out Samardzija, got Hernandez to fly out to end the threat as he rings up Hundley for a 6th strikeout. But since then, Robbie has settled in nicely at 12-pitch 3rd, a 10-pitch 4th. He threw 20 pitches in that last 5th inning.
Hey fans, MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Do you have 400 supported devices?
I told you, I have one that barely works.
Yeah, you've not done well with the technology.
Not
this
at
year,
all. Not at all.
Some buffering issues.
I'll catch up, and about the time I catch up, something new will come along, and then I'll be behind the curve again.
That's the way it is. Eduardo Nunez has singled and grounded out. Some connectivity issues. Robbie tried to backleg that one. Drury's over there, makes a tough throw across his body, and it gets away from Goldie. That's another one that you'd like to see Brandon just eat. But fortunately, Nunez will stop it first.
You'd like to think with more experience and that internal stopwatch that we always talk about, you have to have an idea where that runner is out of the batter's box. No chance to get to Speedy Nunez right here, and if this ball gets into the dugout, Nunez would be advanced into scoring position on the overthrow, but fortunately it hits the padded area right there in front of the camera well and stays on the field of play.
He wants to make every play all the time, Brandon Drury.
And he's so comfortable throwing on the run. A lot of that has to do with working out with Troy Tulowitzki in the offseason, and Tulo rarely sets his feet before making a throw, and Brandon is very adept at throwing on the run.
Well, remember when Nunez singled with 1 out in the 2nd, it brought the game to a screeching halt as Robbie threw over there time and time again, trying to keep him on the first base bag, and as a result he walked the next 2 batters he faced as his concentration seemed to get away from the hitters just a bit and focus on Nunez. Marrero lifts this out to Peralta in right field. 2 outs. I don't even know what this means. Our great statistician Bo here just said that you created a MySpace. That's how bad you are with your tech. See, you don't know what it means.
I don't know what MySpace is.
Hey, how does this work?
What is this face place? What is this? Get off my bandwidth.
Joe Panic has walked and flied out. Oh, 0-1 on Joe Panic. Pitcher spot up next. Tim Fedorovich is in the on deck circle. Line right to Lamb at 3rd. And Robbie Ray is through 6. Diamondbacks lead at 3-0.
Monday night by the Bay. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 3-0, each team with only 4 hits. As we start the 7th inning, CenturyLink, your link to what's next. The series finale, hopefully the rubber match of this 3-game set. Shelby Miller on the mound against the veteran Matt Cain, who did not have a good spring and has an 8.31 ERA so far on the year. Diamondback Live pregame show comes your way at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona. In fact, Ty Block, who was in competition with Matt Cain for that 5th starter spot, is warming up at the Giant bullpen right now with Samardzija beginning the 7th inning at over 100 pitches. A.J. Pollock has singled and scored a run. He's 1 for 3. Giants bullpen is busy. No one throwing for the Diamondbacks as of yet. Neil Ramirez, the right-hander, had been warming up earlier. There's Ty Block, the left-hander, on the right. Block had a good spring. Going to be interesting to see how long the Giants stick with Matt Cain in that rotation if things don't improve. He's in the final year of his contract. On the ground to shortstop, Nunez is there. That's 5 in a row set down by Samardzija.
Hey, pay attention, students. You can take advantage of the D-Backs Student Pass all season long. Get tickets, discounts, and specials sent right to your mobile phone. All you have to do is text STUDENT to 76925. That's STUDENT to 76925. Or log on to dbacks.com/student.
David Peralta 0 for 3. First pitch swinging right to Belt at first. 2 down. Goldie has been hit by a pitch. He's walked and scored and struck out. Coming off an 0 for 4 yesterday.
Only 3 pitches in the inning so far for Samardzija. I would expect Goldie to probably take till he gets a strike this at bat. He's so team oriented. You don't want to allow Samardzija to have a quick inning. I'm sorry, 5 pitches.
This should likely do it for Samardzija. Pitcher spot is due to lead off the Giants 7. But he's behind on Goldie, 2-0. We've got Block warming up with the Giant bullpen, the lefty Lamb on deck. Fastball inside, backed him up, and it's 3-0. Goldie knocks it into left field, a base hit. Samardzija had retired the last 6 in a row, and indeed that will be it. As Bruce Bochy goes to his left-hander. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 3-0 back after this. 6 2/3. D-backs have a 3-0 lead. And fans, if you can't catch the Diamondback games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and Diamondbacks baseball with you wherever you go. The numbers on the left-hander, Ty Block.
3-pitch mix from Ty Block. He'll throw a couple of different fastballs, actually, a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. He also has a slider and a straight changeup. Not overpowering. Pitches to contact, lets his defense work behind him.
He's been a starting pitcher most of his professional career, but has begun this season working out of the bullpen. Likely pitched better this spring than did Matt Cain, but Cain got the nod for that final rotation spot. Jake Lamb has the game's big hit, a 3-run triple in the 3rd. Sends this one out to Hunter Pence in right field. Hunter gets all turned around, but he's got it. And that ends the inning. We stretch in San Francisco, 3-0 Diamondbacks. Nothing. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Girls on the Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved as a volunteer or as a participant at the upcoming Girls on the Run 5K in your area. Check out foxsportsupports.com. Bullpen quiet for the Diamondbacks as Robbie Ray opens up the 7th against the pinch hitter Tim Fedorovich, the backup catcher, who will hit for the pitcher block. Fedorovich just called up today from AAA Sacramento after Buster Posey went on the 7-day concussion DL. What's your policy on using the backup catcher, your only backup catcher, as a pinch hitter?
It's a dicey proposition, obviously. The regularity of catchers getting hit by foul tips, take one off the knuckles, take one off the toe, and have to come out of the ball game. And apparently the emergency catcher for the Giants, and we just found this out in the middle of the game last night, is Aaron Hill.
I can see that.
Aaron didn't know that.
Oops. Well, Fedorovich strikes out to open up the 7th. 7 strikeouts now for Robbie Ray.
With Boch loading up his lineup with right-handed hitters, Fedorovich is the only right-handed bat available off the bench. The other 4 players all left-handed swingers, so Bochy fires his only right-handed bullet right there to try to jumpstart the inning, and Fedorovich goes down on strikes.
I remember for several years the Diamondbacks here, Cliff Pennington had his own set of catcher's gear in case of emergencies. Gorkys Hernandez
used to occasionally go down to the bullpen and warm up pitchers just to kind of get a feel for it.
J.J. Hoover, the right-hander, starts warming up with Robbie Ray now at 99 pitches or so. 1-1 on Hernandez, who's 0 for 3.
You know, I just kind of had a feeling that J.J. Hoover would be the one pitcher to come out there with no sleeves on.
And why is that?
I don't know. Just seems like it fits his personality.
Yeah.
It's not cold.
The left-hander Jorge De La Rosa will join him. Neil Ramirez, the right-hander, still warming up in the Giant bullpen. So Ramirez should get the 8th inning. That's in the seats. Robbie so far has walked 4, struck out 7, and given up just 4 hits, all singles. Fastball up and in, missed, and it's a full count, 3-2. There's a Tapper foul.
Both bullpens active here. Into the bottom of the 7th inning. I know you probably noticed on the Cubs game last night, no bullpens on the field anymore.
Yeah, they moved them.
Yeah, corner outfielders, corner infielders are ecstatic. Get that mound out of the field of play.
You know, I know it's terrible and it's dangerous, but it's kind of like a nice old school feel to it. It's like when they used to play NFL games over the baseball infield. I kind of miss that too.
Infielders don't.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's J.J. Hoover, the right-hander. Jorge De La Rosa, the lefty. Mike Fetter's out there, the bullpen coach. Well, the story here is they designed this beautiful park but forgot the bullpens, right?
Whoops. Yeah.
So they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, they brought the plans and the blueprints and stuff to the ballpark one day and had various people with the organization take a look. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And Bob Lillis, who was our bench coach under Roger Craig, took one look at the blueprints and looked up at the designer and said, "Where's the bullpen?"
Oops. Whoops. 9th pitch of the at-bat to Gorkys Hernandez. He lays off and works a walk. So Hernandez only 2 for 24 at the plate all year. A 1-out walk, the 5th issued tonight by Robbie Ray. And now he'll deal with Brandon Belt. Belt tonight 0 for 3.
I'll tell you one thing, Robbie Ray's really improved tonight, and I think it just happens unintentionally. It's not something you can consciously try to do, but he's really minimized the 2-strike foul balls. Remember last year, every game it seemed like there were 25 or 30 foul balls, and Robbie's pitch count would get up there so high. As a matter of fact, that at bat right there by Hernandez, 3 2-strike foul balls.
Ahead of Brandon Belt, quickly 0-2. Belt hits lefties, comparatively speaking, last season about 280 versus left-handers with 6 homers. Now with a runner on first and the shift on, Diamondbacks have Owens, the shortstop, near the second base bag, and Drury has slid over toward the first base line. Robbie Ray strikes out Brandon Belt. 8 strikeouts for Robbie, 2 down in the 7th. That's a big one right there.
A guy that doesn't strike out very often. Just blew a fastball by him up and in.
Here comes Torey Lovello, and he wants J.J. Hoover to face the right-hand hitting Hunter Pence. Diamondbacks lead at 3-0 in the 7th. Back after this.
Air conditioning and plumbing cool plays of the game. Robbie Ray, 6 2/3 scoreless tonight. 4 hits allowed, all singles. He struck out 8. He also walked 5 and had 9 3-ball counts in the game.
He was able to pitch around those 5 freebies that we suggested that maybe he try to eliminate tonight. So a nice job by Robbie Ray. Outstanding.
He leaves responsible for Hernandez, the base runner at first. And here's J.J. Hoover on to face Hunter Pence. And Robbie could not get Pence out tonight. He singled and walked twice against Robbie Ray. Numbers on J.J. Hoover this year, his 5th appearance of the season.
Hunter Pence 0 for 5 lifetime against J.J. Hoover.
Now Iannetta needs a word. Do you remember who the first guys were that started covering their mouths at these mound meetings?
I'm not sure who was the first one to do it, but I know why they do it.
The TV?
The '89 playoffs. Yeah, Will Clark standing in the on-deck circle as they made a trip to the mound, and Greg Maddux, according to Will Clark, clearly mouthed changeup. And Will Clark hit the next changeup out of the ballpark.
No kidding.
So I think that was kind of the genesis of pitchers and catchers trying to hide their lips in case there was a lip reader over in the other dugout.
Yeah, now guys go in and it's like they're robbing a bank. They don't want to be recognized. Left-hander Jorge De La Rosa ready down there. 2-1 on Hunter Pence. Waves at that one, 2-2. Pence has had a good series. He singled and doubled in the game yesterday. He's been aboard 3 times tonight. Reaches out and taps it. Tough one for Drury. Turns around and throws to second. No chance to get Pence there. It was hit too slowly. And the Giants, with 2 outs in the 7th, will get the tying run to the plate. That's a base hit for Hunter Pence.
And a better decision that time by Brandon Drury as the rain starts to fall here at AT&T Park. Very light mist right now blowing in. I was fearful that Brandon Drury was going to try to plant his foot and spin around in midair and throw to first base, but he wisely instead spun around and threw the ball to second base in the hopes that Hernandez rounded the bag too far.
That marine weather really blowing in now as Aaron Hill steps up. He's 0 for 3. Tying run at the plate, 2 down. 4-1.
Hill 0 for 11 lifetime against J.J. Hoover. I would assume it's because that hard slider low and away to the right-handed hitters.
Aaron off to a 2 for 14 start at the plate this year. Missed again. 2 balls and no strikes. The catcher Nick Hundley is on deck. Well, that mist is really coming across the field hard, right to left with the wind. That's in there for a strike. This is about what the weather is supposed to be here tomorrow night. Archie Bradley's nice and warm. He's got that beard. On the ground is shortstop Chris Owings. They go to Drury for the short way to force on Pence, and that's the inning. We're through 7. D-backs lead the Giants 3-zip.
Game summary. Jake Lamb, the big hit in the ball game right now, a 3-run triple in the 3rd inning. Bobby Ray 6 2/3 scoreless, each team with 5 hits. D-backs lead the Giants 3-0. And the new pitcher for San Francisco as we start the 8th, the right-hander Neil Ramirez, who had a good spring. He appeared in 11 games for the Giants. Split last season between the Cubs and the Twins, and he's out there for the 3rd time this year. Diamondbacks won 5 of the 9 games we played here at AT&T Park last season. They have won 13 of 20 in this ballpark since 2015. They dropped the home opener here yesterday, 4-1, and lead it now 3-0 as Yasmani Tomas leads off the 8th. Tomas singled on the first pitch he saw his last time up against Jeff Samardzija. So far 3 at-bats, he's seen only 5 pitches. Takes that one. It's ball 1. Yasmani has now hit safely in 5 straight games. He's 9 for his last 19 up there. The 1-1 is fouled straight back, and it's 1-2. Good job by J.J. Hoover to win that 7th. He got 2 easy ground balls. One snuck through for a base hit. No one warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Giants will have Hundley, Nunez, and Marrero due up in the home half of the 8th inning, 5, 6, and 7. All 3 are right-hand hitters, so we might see Hoover back out there for the home half. 2-2. Brandon Drury on deck. Chris Owings after that. Each team with 5 hits. Yasmani sends this out toward the right field corner. Hunter Pence is over there, and it drops in foul ground. There's a point in this ballpark at which the right fielder disappears behind that set of stands right there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of foul territory until you get behind the bullpen mounds down the right and left field line, and then that foul line is very close to the side wall.
And look at those funky corners and angles in there. That's a lot to contend with on a dead run.
They used to have the bullpen bench out there underneath that little awning, but they've since moved the relief pitchers into the dugouts.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well,
Tomas sends one to left center field. That gets down. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Another 2-hit game for Yasmani Tomas. He has singled and doubled. That's his 4th double this year.
perfectly split that gap in left center field. I think Gorkis Hernandez might have been shading him over to the gap in right center a little bit, but Yasmani drives one between the left fielder and the center fielder. Lead off double.
Yasmani Tomas now 10 for his last 20 at the plate. And over that span, he's got 6 extra base hits. He homered here yesterday. He singled and doubled tonight. And a tack-on run in scoring position to lead off the 8th inning for Brandon Drury. Boy, when Yasmani gets it going, man, he just rolls. The hits just start coming in bunches. Drury 0 for 3.
Good to see Brandon Drury trying to take a shot to the right side right there. Ideally get a base hit into right field and drive home Yasmani Tomas, but at worst move him up to third base and set it up for Chris Owings.
I think you just want to see Hunter Pence try and throw.
Yeah, I like to watch that.
It is weird. There's no other word for it. Kind of sidearms everything and hops at the same time. Very check swing foul, and it's 1-2.
I mean, we were giving you the numbers for the Diamondbacks with runners in scoring position this year, and the next two hitters here, Brandon Drury and Chris Owings, are pacing the way. Brandon Drury 4 for 6 this year with runners in scoring position. Chris Owings 5 for 6.
Boy, CO with that healthy shoulder, it's a whole new ball game for him. The rain has come and gone. It's still just as windy as it's been all night long. But that cloud of mist blew its way through here. And now they've started to be replaced by some of the Seagulls. Seagulls have checked the clock and the scoreboard. This is usually about the point that they start showing up.
Well, they had a bunch of advanced scouts here. The Seagulls did before the ball game. There were hundreds of them circling around AT&T during batting practice today.
Brandon Drury looks at a fastball for strike 3. Mark Carlson rings him up.
Well, Brandon didn't like it. I got a feeling we're not going to like it either.
That was the previous pitch that he fouled off. You can see Ramirez working him up in the strike zone there. So 1 out. Now here's CO, who's 0 for 3. Jorge De La Rosa going to make his way back out to the Diamondback bullpen. He was throwing out there earlier. Probably getting ready in case Joe Panik gets up there in the bottom of the 8th inning. Panik would be due up 4th in the inning. You got to think of those things when you're running a ball game.
You try to always stay an inning or 2 ahead of the game if at all possible.
Oh, that mist is starting to come in along with about 10,000 seagulls. So a little patch of water blowing through. It's weird because it's blowing. It's actually, I think, raining in the outfield, but not in the infield. It's blowing across from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole, and the seagulls are coming with it.
Yeah, those poor fans sitting out in the left field bleachers are getting that mist blown right into their faces.
Yeah, they sure are. Like being on the deck of a ship.
Good hitters counted 2-0, and that's a good take by Chris Owings. Fastball right out there on the outside corner at the knees. Very tough to do anything productive with that pitch. Count still in your favor here at 2-1.
Trying to get Tomas in from second base with 1 out. Buckled him a bit there with a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Chris Iannetta on deck. The tapper in the hole. Nunez on the backhander, throws across his body, and Belt can't scoop it up. Tomas stayed where he was, and it's a base hit for Chris Owings.
And this is where the numbers can be a little deceiving. That's a base hit for Chris Owings with the runner in scoring position. Unfortunately, Yasmani Tomas not able to score on that ground ball to the left side, but Chris Owings busting it down that first base line earns himself a base hit.
A chance now for Iannetta, who has walked and struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. Pitcher spot due up next. Daniel Descalso in the on-deck circle. No one warming up in the Giant bullpen. Oh, that one got Nick Hundley back there. They're already down 1 catcher.
Well, that voice you hear is Aaron Hill saying, "You're all right, Nick."
They've already used Fedorovich as a pinch hitter. Their backup catcher called up from AAA today after Buster Posey went on the 7-day concussion DL. 0-2. Check swing foul.
I'd love to see Chris Iannetta hit one in the gap just to see if Chris Owings could catch Yasmani Tomas before they get to home plate.
I'm betting on CO there. The way he runs. You know, I think even if Chris gets something up in the air, the way that wind and mist is coming hard across the outfield, it won't be an easy play for anybody. It's a heavy mist blowing through here right now. Where that wind is really gusting out there. As hard now as it's been all night long. Blowing in from right center. 2-2. Iannetta knocks it into center. Yasmani Tomas being waved home. Owings into third, and it's 4-0 Diamondbacks. The RBI single for Chris Iannetta. Good at bat.
Really good at bat that time. Fouled off some tough pitches, took some borderline pitches, and ultimately it's a fastball out over the plate, drives it into that gap in left center. Boy, any mishandling of that ball, and Tony Paraschica was ready to wave Chris Owings on home, but the Giants handled the relay in a good fashion, so he had to throw up the stop sign. First and third once again for the D-backs with one out in the inning.
Iannetta's first run batted in as a Diamondback, and now Descalso will hit for the pitcher Hoover. Daniel Descalso 3 for 11, 3 RBIs to start the year. Down quickly 0-2. Diamondback pinch hitters have excelled this season, hitting a .462 clip with 7 RBIs.
Well, the Diamondbacks have done a nice job today of taking advantage of getting the leadoff man on base. Back in the third inning, Robbie Ray led it off with a base hit. They were able to push across 3 runs in that inning on the Jake Lamb triple, and Yasmani Tomas with a leadoff double in this inning and already 1 run on the board.
Diamondbacks trying to hang on and even this series at a game apiece. Series finale tomorrow night. Shelby Miller gets the baseball for the Diamondbacks against the Giants' Matt Cain. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona. And an off day on Thursday and 4 in LA against the Dodgers, including Greinke versus Kershaw to open up that series. as Scalzo strikes out. Two on, two out for A.J. Pollock. Giant bullpen still quiet. A.J. singled and scored in the third. He's 1 for 4. Getting to be a long inning for Ramirez. His 30th pitch coming up, and so Hunter Strickland will start warming up down there.
Boy, with this steady mist falling throughout the latter portion of this ball game, that infield grass has to be a little damp. Has to be tempting for AJ to try to bunt for a base hit, drive that runner home from third base. Aaron Hill is playing way back at third.
Yeah, if you could get it past the mound on the left-hand side with AJ's speed, he'd beat that out easily.
Yeah, if you can get that ball to roll for any distance through the grass, it'd be very tough to get a handle on it.
That kind of sums up the weather here tonight right there. Or this.
It was t-shirt weather yesterday afternoon.
It's lifted up in the air, foul behind the Diamondback dugout. That matchup Friday is going to be something. Zach Greinke versus Clayton Kershaw, the opener of a 4-game series at Dodger Stadium.
Well, you know what would be good right now, partner?
What you got?
Some tacos.
1 run away. Owings at third, Iannetta at first, 2 outs.
Actually, it'll be good between 4 and 6 tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink.
That's what the paperwork says. AJ, did he check? Yes, he did, says C.B. Bucknor. And it's a full count, 3-2. Good call. Oh, we've lost a few.
Yeah.
Iannetta on the move now from first. There he goes. And AJ, did he check that time? They appeal to first. No, he didn't. Bucknor rings him up. And the Diamondbacks strand 2, but they add 1. Bottom 8 on the way. It's 4-0 Diamondbacks.
4-0 good, guys. Hey, fans, don't miss the NL West rivals at Chase Field next weekend, April 21st through the 23rd. The D-backs will take on the Los Angeles Dodgers on Saturday, April 22nd. Fans can pick up a car sunshade courtesy of Safe Light Auto Glass. Get your D-backs versus Dodgers tickets now at dbacks.com.
It's been pointed out to me that our employers, the Arizona Diamondbacks, as Jorge De La Rosa answers the Ashline call to the bullpen, have just tweeted out an unfortunate, what do you call them, gifts?
I guess, yeah.
Of you and I dancing last year, which did not work out all that well for us.
Well, there should be an explanation.
This is why I brought it up.
They come up to the booth and they say, listen, we're doing this thing, a video, and people are dancing, and we have no music, so just make believe that there's some music playing. Well, I didn't have any idea what they were talking about, so we made fools of ourselves, and of course they tweeted out. Nice going.
That was between innings too. We had like 20 seconds. So anyway, it's on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Jorge De La Rosa will face Nick Hundley. Got 3 right-hand hitters due up for the Giants here in the 8th inning. Hundley singled in the 3rd. He is 1 for 3. I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but Nick Hundley went to the University of Arizona.
Did he really? He's a Wildcat.
He's a U of A product.
That'd be darn.
Little known fact. Well, Giant fans have just had their annual dose of Steve Perry, so they're all fired up. Although many of them have cleared out now. 4-0 in the 8th inning. Windy, rainy night. Hard to third, off the glove of Lamb, and it rolls up the left field line. It's on the bullpen. Tomas had to run a long way to pick that one up, and Hundley's got a leadoff double.
Hundley got a pitch down and in. It just dropped the bat head on it. That one ate up Jake Lamb down there. Tried to make the backhanded play, and that play by Yasmani Tomas to get that ball back into the infield was any indication. The ball is going to be very wet once it rolls through the grass for any distance. Yasmani very carefully just flipped it back into Chris Owings, who didn't even risk another throw. He called timeout.
Eduardo Nunez has singled twice. He's 2 for 3. Chris Owings at shortstop smothers that one. Long throw. Nunez easily beats it out with his speed. And that was another one you'd probably like to see just eat.
Yeah, he had a play at second base. Nick Hundley saw that ball. He thought through the left side of the infield. Watch Nick Hundley here. He'll take a stutter step, He thinks it's through, so he breaks. He's out in no man's land, but Chris Owings comes up firing to first base with Nunez speed. You have to know you're not going to have a play there.
And Drury was there on the second base bag. But a single and a double open up the Giant 8th. And now here's Chris Marrero, the left fielder. That's a great play by CO just to get to that ball. Otherwise, Hundley might score.
Saved the run for the time being.
Marrero, when he makes contact, it'll go, but he has trouble doing that.
Well, we mentioned the bullpens are in the dugout, basically. All the relief pitchers, and Mike Fetters, the bullpen coach, in the dugout. Nobody headed down to the bullpen yet.
Well, they had some right-hand options down there. You open up the inning with 3 right-hand hitters, but it's De La Rosa who's out there, the lefty. Marrero walked in the second inning. He's 0 for 2 and just 1 for 16 on the year. Check swing foul into the Giant bullpen. Tom Wilhelmsen, the right-hander, is walking out there.
And one thing to keep in mind, as we mentioned earlier in the ballgame, Bruce Bochy has 4 left-handed bats available off the bench tonight, including Brandon Crawford, Denard Span. So that could play into having Jorge De La Rosa out there facing all these right-handers. Maybe they like this matchup better than any right-hander on those lefties.
Yeah, good point. Owings, Drury for one. They roll it. Hundley in at third.
Just what the doctor ordered. De La Rosa executes his pitch down in the zone, gets that little smothered ground ball right to Chris Owings, an easy double play.
Boy, the Giants have got to figure out left field. That's killing them right now. Between Parker and Marrero, they're just getting nothing. Joe Paddock, 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitcher spot up next. Connor Gillespie, the postseason hero, in the on-deck circle. Strike one. Interesting that De La Rosa, we talked about the same thing with Archie Bradley, a starting pitcher now with a bullpen. This is a guy, look, he's no spring chicken, Jorge De La Rosa. Just turned 36 last week, but he's been throwing mid-90s all spring long. Working in these one-inning increments instead of starting the ball game. And he's got a lot more zip on the fastball.
And a lot of these Giants hitters are very familiar with De La Rosa from his days with the Colorado Rockies as a starter, where he didn't throw nearly that hard consistently. So it might be a little bit of a surprise seeing De La Rosa pitching out of that bullpen, that added velocity.
That's got to be right. No, he didn't go, says Fielding Culbreth. That ball from De La Rosa gets on you a lot quicker than it used to.
Yeah, if you've had a history against an opposing pitcher and you've seen him, 10, 15, 20 times the season before, and he topped out at 91 or 92, and all of a sudden you face him out of the bullpen and he's rushing it up there at 95, 96, that's a different guy.
Well, the sky's over right field now, full of seagulls. Imagine trying to field a baseball hit up into that with all that white flapping around. 3-1 on Joe Panik. Down the right field line, a fair ball. It's headed for the corner as Hundley scores the first Giant run. Peralta's out there. Panik has an RBI double.
Ball up and in. Pretty good swing by Joe Panik to keep that ball fair down into the right field corner. The Giants on the board now here in the 8th inning.
Connor Gillespie. Well, you mentioned, Bob, after they burned Fedorovich, all their pinch hitters are lefties. So here's one of them. Gillespie 1 for 3 so far to start the year. Gillespie hit .350 in spring training, but he's barely played so far. Bernard Span not in the starting lineup tonight, has a helmet on in the dugout. They've got Parker down there, Crawford as well, all in reserve. Grounded foul. Wilhelmsen still warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. The bartender, I saw you talking concerts with him earlier today.
Yeah, he's a real big live music fan. He and his wife love to go to concerts, and we were comparing notes, some of the bands we've seen recently.
On and one on Connor Gillespie. Did you ever figure out if you went to his bar in Tucson while he was attending bar there?
I don't believe I ever did. Of course, I didn't have time to go to bars when we were down in spring training in Tucson, but I don't think I ever frequented the hut. Probably should have.
The Hut, a great tiki bar right near the U of A campus where Tom Wilhelmsen worked as a bartender for a while. Hence the nickname. 2-1. That hit him. And now the Giants will get the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 8th.
He's tried to overthrow that fastball. Which is Gillespie on the back of that right arm. He'll head on down to first base.
Well, this is interesting, Bob. As you talked about earlier, if you're Torey Lovullo, you're thinking, okay, if I bring in the right-hander, they pinch hit the lefty. So do I like the matchup of De La Rosa versus Hernandez better? Or if I go to Wilhelmsen, maybe they bring in Span?
A lot of things to think about over there in the dugout, and sometimes it's more than just pass numbers. Sometimes a guy's a certain type of hitter. If he's a dead low fastball hitter and you've got a pitcher out in bullpen that's a dead low fastball pitcher, you don't want to set up that matchup.
Mike Butcher, the pitching coach out there. De La Rosa trying to get that final out, and in the 8th. The skipper, Torey Lovullo. His team off to a 6-2 start. And a chance tonight to get to 7-2 for the first time since 2008. Ortiz Hernandez walked his last time up. He's 0 for 3. Hernandez just 2 for 24 at the plate this year. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Diamondbacks in the 9th inning will have Peralta, Goldie, Lamb 2, 3, and 4 due up. There is action in the Giant bullpen. De La Rosa, they had no balls and 2 strikes. There's Denard Span. Career numbers against Jorge De La Rosa. You've got Brandon Belt in the on-deck circle, a left-hand hitter. Span is also a lefty. I think if you were going to use Denard Span, he'd be up right now.
Right now.
A little strange. 0-2.
Well, Hernandez in very limited at bats against Jorge De La Rosa. He's 2 for 5 with a double and a homer.
Hernandez is hitless in his last 18 times up.
Well, you probably wouldn't see Span anyway this inning until the Aaron Hill spot. You're not going to hit for Brandon Belt against anybody or Hunter Pence, so Aaron Hill would probably be the next logical candidate to be pulled for a pinch hitter.
Well, you'd think with the tying run at the plate and 2 down, you'd hit for the guy who's 2 for 24. Rain coming down again in the outfield. Jorge De La Rosa gets the big strikeout and strands 2, but the Giants get 1. D-backs lead it 4-1. lead the Giants 4-1. Fans, being a D-back season ticket holder comes with lots and lots of perks, including early entry into the ballpark, the ability to exchange tickets, and exclusive discounts on concessions. Season ticket holders, if you haven't picked up your 2017 Loyalty Cup, make sure to get it from the ticket headquarters at Section 3. The Loyalty Cup allows you to get a $2 drink refill all season long. See all the benefits of being a Diamondbacks season ticket holder at dbacks.com/advantage. New pitcher for the Giants, the right-hander Hunter Strickland, who just became a dad. He's back from the paternity list. He and his wife Shelley welcomed their daughter Kinsey Ray on Saturday, his 4th appearance of the year.
3 strikeouts in his 3 innings of work. He's also walked a couple of opposing batters.
Peralta, Goldie, and Lamb due up 2, 3, and 4 in the Diamondback 9th as Fernando Rodney starts warming up at the D-backs bullpen. Peralta 0 for 4. Swings at the first pitch. Hits a tapper. Strickland going to pick it up, bobble it, and step on the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the 2nd time in a row David has grounded out on the first pitch of the at-bat. Troy Lovullo was talking about that before the game today, about yesterday's ball game. Felt the approach at the plate by a lot of the Diamondbacks hitters was a little hurried, a little rushed, and the offense a little dormant at times. Tonight, 4 runs on 8 hits. The big blow, Jake Lamb's 3-run triple in the 3rd. Here's Goldie, who has walked, singled, and scored a run. Fernando Rodney continues to warm up. The Giants will have the heart of the order up in the bottom of the 9th. Belt, Pence, and Aaron Hill. 2, 3, and 4. Although you've got a couple of left-hand pinch hitters if you want to hit for Aaron Hill in that spot against Rodney. D-backs a chance to even this series in a game apiece. Shelby Miller tomorrow night against Matt Cain. In there for a strike at 95, and it's 1-2. Goldie all smiles up there. Snuck that one in there, the front door, and he strikes out looking.
You're right. Front door breaking ball starts it almost right at Goldie. Just about gets it back to the inside corner, but they get the call from Mark Carlson behind the plate.
Well, it's been a good day for Jake Lamb. He's walked twice and hit a 3-run triple to dead center field in the 3rd. Diamondbacks tacked one on in the 8th inning on a Chris Iannetta RBI single, his first RBI as a Diamondback. And mist is still blowing across the field from right to left. You can see Jake's helmet. It's all wet, drying off that bat up there. Most of the fans have gone home. Of course, back in the day at Candlestick, for you, this would have been a packed house.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, these are probably the fans that did regularly come out to Candlestick Park. They don't mind a little cold and rain.
Ballpark was another sellout, but right now it's only about 1/3 full, if that. Tough night out there, weather-wise. Got to keep covered. 2-1 is swung on and headed for the right field corner. Pence will play it high off the wall. Lamb's going to have to hustle, and he puts the brakes on rounding first. Boy, Pence got that back in real quickly. Karam right back to him. He knows how to play those angles out there.
And you got a very fortunate Karam that time. We talked about that right field wall last night. There's bricks, there's chain link, there's padded areas, and depending on where it hits, it will react differently. But Hunter Pence plays this one perfectly off the bricks, right to him on a hop, holds Jake Lamb to a single.
He was headed for second all the way, but had no choice to stop. And he's aboard for the 4th time tonight. A single, a triple, and 2 walks brings up Yasmani Tomas, who's 2 for 4. And 10 for his last 20 at the plate. $10 for 20 with 6 extra base hits. He doubled and scored his last time up. Mist is really heavy right now. Late on a fastball, and it's 0-2. Got him. Bottom 9 we go. Fernando Rodney coming in with a 4-1 lead.
For relief, he says it's mine to give, but it's yours to choose. You're gonna sink or swim, you're gonna learn the truth. And I'm all alone, and the fire grows. And I'm all alone, and the fire grows.
Bottom 9 in San Francisco. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 4-1, trying to even this series at a game apiece. And here is the 40-year-old closer, Fernando Rodney. Our ash line call to the bullpen. Rodney already 2 for 2 in his save opportunities, but he's got his work cut out for him. Brandon Belt, Hunter Pence, and Aaron Hill due up in the Giant ninth, 2, 3, and 4. And some left-hand hitting pinch hit options on the bench for Bruce Bochy. Belt hitless tonight, 0 for 4.
Two previous matchups between these two guys, and Fernando Rodney's had the better of it. 2 strikeouts against Brandon Belt.
miss still coming across the field from right to left, and Rodney ahead 0-2. Diamondbacks took a 3-0 lead in the third on Jake Lamb's 3-run triple. That's the earliest lead the Diamondbacks have had all season. And with this rebuilt bullpen, the D-backs have not lost a lead all year. Into the shift. Drury is there. 1 out. Hunter Pence. Pence has been aboard all 4 times he's been up there. 2 singles, 2 walks. Already with 4 hits in the series. Aaron Hill is in the on-deck circle.
Well, Hill has a little bit of history against Fernando Rodney. 3 for 9 lifetime with a home run. Thought we might see either Denard Span or possibly Brandon Crawford if the Giants had a couple runners on base in Aaron Hill's spot. But with a little bit of career history, I think we'll see Aaron Hill take the AB.
Rodney, all 4 pitches for strikes so far. Missed with that fastball, and it's 1-1.
Like he tried to overthrow those last 2 fastballs. Pitching to Brandon Belt, he was around 92 with a lot of tailing, sinking action. Jumped ahead in the count quickly with a couple of fastballs, but overthrowing here to Hunter Pence and missed the zone.
Now he's falling behind 3-1. Hunter Pence walks for the 3rd time tonight. A 1-out base runner for Aaron Hill. Aaron 0 for 4. There's a Tapper foul, and Rodney's ahead 0-2. Asked Torey Lovullo about his 40-year-old closer. And Torey will tell you, look, this front office evaluates the stuff, not the age. They evaluate the stuff and not the projections. And they know that Rodney's a quality guy who wants the ball in these spots, the 9th inning. And those guys are hard to find. It's a different 3 outs. There's no net out there for the 9th inning closer. And he rings up Aaron Hill with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Aaron Hill didn't like it. Looked like Rodney dotted it right there on the corner. Mark Carlson with the emphatic strike call.
Well, Bruce Bochy's already used his backup catcher Tim Fedorovich as a pinch hitter with Buster Posey on the concussion DL. And so even with some left-hand hitting options on the bench, Hundley will have to take the at-bat. D-backs 1 out away. Hundley hits a little squib shot foul. Fernando Rodney, 263 career saves over parts of now 15 seasons of the big leagues. He's familiar with this situation,
to say the least.
Ooh. Pence takes off, fastball misses up and in. want to blame that on the wet conditions?
Yeah, that's as good as reason as any.
It is a thick mist still coming across the outfield and the infield for that matter. It's blown in a bit now.
Boy, that changeup is wicked. Great arm action, great arm speed. Hitter thinks it's going to be a fastball. You see Hundley jumps way out in front of that 83-mile-an-hour changeup.
A strike away, Fernando Rodney. You want to get Hundley right here. Nunez on deck would be the tying run at the plate. Along the right field line, Peralta won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. Pence scores, and Nick Hundley's in at second with an RBI double. And Nunez will step up now as the tying run.
Kind of a defensive swing that time by Nick Hundley. Nasty pitch down and away from Hundley. Gets enough of it to keep it fair down into that right field corner. Rattles around down there for David Peralta. By the time he retrieves it, Hunter Pence is on the plate.
Nick Hundley's third hit tonight, 2 doubles. Nunez needs a towel to dry off the bat. Marrero's spot is up next, and Brandon Crawford is in the on-deck circle. Nunez 3 for 4 tonight, 3 singles.
0 for 3 lifetime against Rodney with 2 strikeouts.
Base hit. This will score Hundley. 1-run ball game.
Changeup working its way down. Nunez just golfed it out there into left field. That ball really hydroplaned on that first skip to Yasmani Tomas.
Now keep in mind as well, Eduardo Nunez has great speed, 40 stolen bases last year, 5th most of the major leagues, and he's a perfect 4 for 4 on this season. And now Crawford will hit for Marrero. Crawford doubled, scored a run, had an RBI yesterday. He's hit safely in every game this year. And right back to it, 0-1.
You're not going to scare Fernando Rodney off of that changeup. That's his bread and butter pitch. He use that fastball in and out to get ahead in the count, but that changeup is his swing and a miss pitch.
Nunez takes off. The throw from Iannetta is a good one, but Nunez is in there, his 5th stolen base. And now the tying run is in scoring position with 2 outs.
Great jump over there. Chris Iannetta unloads quickly. But once again, the speed of Eduardo Nunez just outruns the baseball to second base.
Mike Butcher to the mound. The entire Diamondback infield will join him out there. We've got another dangerous left-hand hitter on deck in Joe Panik.
Position players just trying to keep their throwing hand dry. You saw Brandon Drury had his right hand tucked inside his belt there, just trying to keep the water off of their hand, so if they're forced to make a play, they'll be able to get a good grip and throw on for the out.
Boy, just keeps going back to that pitch, and it's 1-2. Nunez the tying run. Two and two. Joe Panik would be next. He doubled his last time up. Got him! Fernando Rodney shoots the arrow up into the mist, and the Diamondbacks beat the Giants 4-3. And the D-backs have their first 7-2 start to a season since 2008.
Well, I said it, Rodney's bread and butter pitch is that straight changeup, and he'll go to it as often as necessary against a real good hitter in Brandon Crawford. Take a look at this at bat. First pitch changeup for a swinging strike. Misses off the plate. Actually, it was on the corner, but didn't get the call. Another changeup. Another changeup down. And finally gets the swing and a miss on one right in the middle of the plate.
Another arrow goes up into the sky. The third save this year for the D-backs' new closer. And they hang on and win it 4-3. They led 3-0 in the third on Jake Lamb's 3-run triple. Tacked on one more in the eighth inning. It was 4-0 at one point. They